welcome, my strong girlies, to the Strong Girl Shuffle podcast.
Strong girl, strong girl, strong girl shuffle.
Beautiful.
Yeah. You know, I've been doing that since we started. I might as well just keep it going.
Right?
I said I was always going to come up with like a song, but I think that's it.
And it's like, I don't want to interrupt it, so it's like, I can't feel like I can add to it. It's just like, you do you, girl, you do you.
We'll come up with like a proper intro.
That's the next season.
That'll be another podcast goal.
Exactly, which leads us right into this week's theme, which is going to be goals, midway check-in, talking about how we've been doing with our goals, our podcast goals, and then we're just going to have some fun, silly games.
Yeah, we thought that we would give Allie a little bit of a break because we've been talking strongman for quite a while. And as much as this is a strong girl shuffle podcast, we also got to shuffle in a few little things here and there, keep you guys entertained, and also kind of give us a break in between strongman training and competitions.
I don't need a break, but that's fine. I can talk about strongman every single day, but I thought it'd be nice to change up a little bit.
Yeah, it'd be good to get a little recap and see if, you know, I actually kept all of our old goals that we had, like from the very beginning, from the very start.
I forgot about.
Yeah, when I was looking back at them, I was like, we actually had these goals? Like, what?
Yeah.
So we have the very first goals from when we started the podcast, and then we had our 3-month goals for when we started this season of the podcast. I'm talking about like pre-season podcast episodes.
The 14 hours that we never be released, but maybe we'll release in the future.
Yeah.
The secrets.
There are little reels and bloopers on our Instagram channel, so please check that out.
The first, like, I got
little tidbits in there every now and again.
I have to check that out.
But yeah, so I thought it would be really cool to kind of like look back at when we first started, what our expectations were for ourselves and for the podcast, and then what we had when we first started season 1, and then now.
Yeah, no, it sounds fantastic. And so we're going to be using the...
We got to shuffle in.
We're going to shuffle in with the Astrology Tarot deck today. I did request this. Megan tried to talk me out of it because it was very...
It was very mean.
Yeah, it was
like, I'm not going to pussyfoot around.
It was not nice to me. Really,
she did you dirty.
She did do me dirty, but I don't know. Maybe I feel like I need a little slap in the face right now. Midway check-in, I was like, let's go hard. Let's listen to the hard truths, the stuff that we might not want to hear about.
That's
so
right.
I was like, let's do it. And she's like, I want the fluffy bunny one.
So in the beginning, I wanted us to do the chubby bunny challenge, but Allie thinks it's gross.
Yeah.
So if you guys do want us to do the chubby bunny challenge in the future and just Allie bite her tongue, let me know in the comments because I will set it up. I actually have a tarot deck specifically related to chubby bunny, and I want to use it so bad.
We can use the tarot. It doesn't have to.
It doesn't have a book though.
Oh, that's fine.
Like, oh girl.
Isn't it did it have an online book?
No.
Oh, it didn't have any book. Oh, it's just tuition. We're dropping our tuition.
Literally. Okay. Story behind the Chubby Bunny tarot cards.
Mm-hmm.
I got them just randomly one day. I didn't buy them. Jacob didn't buy them. I just randomly got them. They were in my house. I don't know how.
I thought Jacob bought the break.
Wow. Jacob bought the Circle of Life, and he bought the anime ones.
I'm pretty sure he bought them because I remember I was there. He came back, said I saw these and I thought of you. Did you ask him?
That was the Circle of Life. Yeah, I did. He said he didn't recognize it.
Interesting. I really thought he did.
I know.
Because I'm pretty sure I was there and he came in and threw magic.
Yeah.
He's like, I bought myself some cards. I thought you would need some cards.
I thought that was the Circle of Life ones.
I wasn't there. Well, I was there for Circle of Life, but no, I remember the bunny ones.
I don't know.
I was pretty sure.
I don't know. All I remember is that like when we were doing the spring cleaning, he put all of my tarot cards in one little cubby because we have like an 8 cubicle thing that we put all of our consoles in, our books, comics, whatever. So that way when we have guests over, most of our friends are nerds, so they can just like geek out.
Hence the nerd.
And I was like, well, I have friends that like tarot, so like let's just put that in there too. And when you put that on top, I was just like, where did this one come from? And he was just like, I don't know.
I don't think this. So this card was kind of like sticky in my hand, but I took it out, didn't feel right, so I put it back to continue shuffle.
Oh, okay.
I know what the card was.
Yeah.
So if it pops out, it was meant to be, but I set it down. I was like, no,
Not the owner.
no, it wasn't the right one.
I get it.
So that's why we put it back. If you're wondering, for people who are watching me shuffle, because I was just like, no, but I set it down. Like, no, I didn't feel like it was the one. Not the vibe. Not the vibe.
Sometimes that happens too. When you're doing tarot and you're like shuffling a deck and multiple cards come out of series, because I find that happens too.
Yeah.
I'm just like, you know what? If it comes back out, it comes back out like this right now. Example. Perfect example. So we have all these cards here, but whether or not those are actually something that we need to discuss, or if it's just like, you know, oh, we're doing this. Okay. If I can, sorry. I'm getting off track, folks. We'll talk about that in a second. So usually when my partner loves me for this, so he's obsessed with Magic the Gathering cards, and usually I can pick the rare cards or mythical cards is what they're called, based off of the heat from my palm if I go over it. I'm feeling this one.
Air Dawn. Ooh, very interesting one. So the other ones that popped up just for curiosity purposes, we have, I want to say, the one of water. Let's say that's no one of air. One of fire, sunset of water, and on the bottom of the deck it was water day.
Ooh. I could be wrong, Allie, but I'm pretty sure we had the Air Dawn the first time around too, didn't we? Or something similar to it.
We did have an air, but it was not the one. Actually, it was the one that fell out.
It's the 8.
It was the 8, because that's the one that came out the first time, and that's the one I told me to put back. But we could. I'm not sure about that.
No,
so
no.
while you're looking up the book there, I'm going to explain what the card means. So it is a beautiful, almost like eye shape. So it's a circle that kind of not a full circle in the image. It's like I would say 3/4 of a circle. The edges are kind of missing, and so the top is very blue, night sky, the bottom blue, and it's a very much sunrise. Like it's coming up, it's a beautiful red pinkish sky, and in the center there's 2 hands holding the astronomy wheel, is that what it's called? Where the
Zodiac wheel.
Zodiac wheel, thank you. The zodiac wheel in it, and the signs are very light, very fair. So you have to like really be looking at it to see them. And in the center is a bright white light. So when I look at this, I just see opportunities. I just like, here's like, it almost reminds me of clam, here's your oyster, like here's your pearl. It's like, that's what I see. So I'm going to show the card here.
Yeah, it's almost like Allie did a really good description of like what was on the inside of the card. But when I think of like the circle being cut off, it almost looks like a zoom in or like zoom out. You know, like in Looney Tunes when it goes like that's all, folks. It kind of looks like that. So you're saying it gives you opportunity. For me, I think of creation, because the light in the middle of the zodiac signs kind of shows me like it's being born, it's being created.
Yeah, I can see that, like an egg hatching almost.
Yeah,
I see
exactly.
That. Yep.
But then with
Dawn, sorry to cut you off there. Dawn is very much the beginning, the opening, the start, so I can totally see that.
So that's what I see for it. And like of course like the zooming out just kind of illuminates that a little bit more for me. But I also see like on top of creation, opportunity is definitely one of them, but almost like insight. So you're perceiving it more than what you expected. Once you start it, it's more than what you expected it to be. You know what I mean? That makes sense?
Yeah. My
words don't, I'll explain it to you guys in the goals, but there's moments where my words just don't make sense. So please bear with me.
All right, perfect.
So with the Air Dawn cards, the key word is curiosity, intelligence, wit, honesty, independence, and rebellion.
Rebellion, interesting. Okay.
I wouldn't really put rebellion in with those words, but maybe like rebelling for your own beliefs.
I can see that, because like, what were the words again?
Curiosity, intelligence, wit, honesty, independence.
And I can see that. Because when I think of
revolution,
it's a revolution, and you need to be creative. You need to be independent. You have to be witty. You have to be honest. You have to go against the flow. So I can see that.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just like you don't really
think about it.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
It might be because I'm currently reading. It was the Fourth Wing series, Iron Flame name, and so maybe that's why it's on the brain.
She got rebellion on the brain.
Got rebellion on the brain.
So with Air Dawn, it looks to harness the best powers of all the signs in a way that will stand up inept authority. Arguments can be made that appeal to either reason or emotion, and this card says that you should use whatever works. It is the card associated with Gemini and their but why curiosity. The energy is there. This is a clever, witty youth with an inquisitive nature. They are in the process of developing their own ideas and beliefs, and may frequently clash with the authority over differences of opinion. Their youth's independent ideas of curiosities should be encouraged and nurtured rather than quashed.
Okay.
This card may represent someone who displays these qualities, or may suggest that such gifts should be developed by the current. In a situation, it is asking the players involved to think outside of the box and apply radical curiosity to the problem.
I'm interested to see how that goes with our little recap here, see how fitting it is. And so do we want to go on the bottom one?
I just want to comment about like the last sentence, if that's okay.
Sure.
In a situation, it is asking the players involved to think outside the box and apply radical curiosity to the problem. So in a situation, right now we're talking about recapping our midway goals, just discussing like what we started with and how we are now.
Yeah.
Not the fact that we're actually finished, because you never finish a goal completely. You can achieve so much of it, but it's not all the way. So I'm wondering if it's like asking us to think outside of the box. So even though we have that written as a goal, maybe there's other outcomes that we have to experience first before we reach it.
I think it is kind of perfect because it's talking about, like you said, talking about
By all means,
applying radical curiosity to the problem. So I know for me, this is really speaking to me because like I know for me and my goals, like I've been feeling a lot of repetitiveness, a lot of like stalemates.
Yeah.
So it's like this is like, okay, you need to think, okay, you're feeling stagnant with your goals. Why are you feeling stagnant? What can you do to change out or revamp your goals to make it more so that you are achieving them, you're excited to achieve them. So I think this really does apply to me about being a critical thinking with your goals and not going down, taking the path less traveled by, as some would say, instead of going in with them as what is the expected.
Yeah, rather than just being like, okay, I want to take this straight line. Maybe there's some crossroads that
exactly
jump over.
Take the long way. There's more to see.
Yeah, more insight there.
Exactly. Well, look, what's the Cancer card, which is Miss Megan's sign. Are we in Cancer season yet?
When this episode airs, yes.
Oh, so the next card we had with I just love this. This speaks to us. So this is actually a beautiful card. I love this scene. Like this is like my happy place. Like I would love to go and sit by this water. So it looks like it's a very calm waterfall, like in the woods, in the forest. It's calm on one side, then you have the waterfall, the rocks. But it's actually not rapids or anything drastic. It's very much low, but you have to like pour over it. It's very much like you're almost like you're being overflowed in this one area. So you need to pour yourself into another area that's not as clear, a little cloudy, because at the bottom of the waterfall, it's all murky, which is unknown. Little foamy. So this is what the card looks like here. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I'd love to go sit there.
It almost looked upside down for me. So I'm glad you gave this to me because I was going to ask for it. It looked upside down. Like it looked like
that looks like the sky.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that first time.
So I think I'm gonna say that this is how I read it now, because when I was reading it upside down. I think it's telling me to like look at it in a different perspective. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, don't put all your water in one cup. It's like telling you to distribute it because you don't really know how it looks from the other side. So it's like telling you like, keep yourself open to the opportunity that maybe you're not looking at it the way that it's trying to explain itself to you. Like there's a message that's trying to come across and you're just reading it wrong.
Okay.
So I think, I don't know, sorry.
No, that's fine.
It looked like the sky, hey?
And once you pointed it out, yeah, I can see that. But when I first saw it, I instantly didn't see that at all.
And then Water Day, the keywords are sensitive, caring, peace-loving, harmonious, imaginative, and creative talents. The water trickles down a gentle stream, making a harmonious sound and delighting in all the scenes. This is the energy of this card and of any person indicated by it. If it is a person, it is someone who is in touch with their feelings. They are wise, peace-loving, and in tune with others, sensitive, sympathetic, and kind-hearted. You can rely on them to be a good listener and to give you great advice. Water Day may also indicate a highly imaginative woman and with creative gifts and talents. This card can represent a mature woman in your life with these characteristics, or it can refer to the qualities in your own. In terms of the situation, this card advises the querent, the person reading, to take a step back and perhaps even use a vacation to think on the matter instead of going for a quick decision.
Okay. A quick decision, taking the vacation, which is something that my roommate has been kind of griping at me for, is making sure to take time to do things that I enjoy. And I'm really bad for taking like a personal day off work just to do something fun. Like that's a weird concept to me. And that's something that we've talked about in the last month about being like, hey, what can we do to,
get out of the house?
Well, it's not even getting out of the house.
Things.
It's more like enjoy life. You know, it's one of those things. Don't live to work, work to live.
Yeah.
You don't live to work, you work to live. There we go.
Okay. I never heard that before.
No? Yeah. And so it's basically just saying your life purpose is not to work.
Yeah.
You work so that you can live a life that you want.
Yeah.
You're not working to live. Like that's not your sole purpose of life.
Yeah.
No, basically. So enjoy the small things.
You're not slaves to your job. You gotta take time for yourself, time to reflect, time to just like break out of your everyday tasks. And you were talking earlier about like feeling like your goals have just become repetitive. Maybe it's telling you something about that. It's like just taking a step away from that.
Maybe. We'll find out. We'll get into it.
I think it's a little bit interesting too, because it's saying to like take a step back and use a vacation instead of like making an uninformed decision. It's almost similar to me saying that I'm looking at it upside down, like I'm not looking at it the same way as you are. It's getting a different perspective. So giving yourself that time to like actually reflect at the whole picture rather than just seeing it as a stagnant piece. So I like that a lot. That's a good pie. Good blend.
We got her.
You're nice. This is a good read.
Yeah. See, you were hating on her.
Well, it's because she's water.
Yeah.
Right? The water helps wash everything away.
And you hate the water. I love the water.
I don't hate the water. It's just crab water. I'm a soft shell crab, okay?
You really are
sensitive.
We're going to go into our goals aspect. So at this point, we're going to be talking about my personal goals, your personal goals, and then the podcast goals in total. So would you like to get started?
Just to kind of summarize, I think I already mentioned it before, but I'm just going to like repeat myself just for purposes. We're going over like when we first started the podcast to the 3 months that we set up beforehand, and then our goals now. So in the beginning, I mentioned that I wanted to maintain 10,000 steps daily. I wanted to share my writing with Newfoundland Heritage Committee to try to get them to like promote my book. And then kind of like show my Newfie love, my passion for my province. And then I also wanted to do marketing my writing through the gallery committee here on PEI, and to prepare for my journalism communications program in January.
Perfect. Okay.
So it's kind of interesting that I gave myself a lot. Now I said that I was going to do that in 3 months. Now, granted, like 3 months and it's 5 things. It doesn't seem like a lot when you're reading it, but it's a lot to handle
when you're actually breaking down getting these things done.
Yeah, the amount of work that you have to put in through, like even the 10,000 steps daily. When it's raining, when it's snowing, what do you do then?
It's a conscious decision.
And I also heard on the radio today that it's supposed to be really bad hurricane season this year. So we're going to be getting rain and wind, baby.
Love that.
So I mean, like realistically, 10,000 steps a day, it's not hard to do. But to say that you're going to do it every day, it's
to me 10,000 steps is hard.
It's
perspective boy. For you, it's easy.
Okay, listen, for me, it might be easy, but my uncle, like, talks shit. My uncle is the biggest beefer in my life, and I love him. He's like my second father. but he gets like 45,000 steps a day, and he'll send me his Fitbit. He's like, "How many steps did you get?" And I'm like, "You son of a bitch."
I don't want that anymore. I don't want that anymore.
I know, it's like, what a jerk. And
Yeah.
he's older than me too, so he's like, "Yeah, I got hard knees. I'm older than you." And I'm just like, "Oh, you son of a gun." Anyways, I digress.
Yeah.
It's not realistic to say that you're going to do that every single day, because you can be sick. There could be a storm. There could be other circumstances where you can't physically actually go out and do that.
100%.
It's just days where you need self-care, and 10,000 steps a day, even if you get 5,000, I think that's a win.
And I think we had that conversation because when you said you're like, I'm going to work out 5 days, I feel like we had this conversation. It might have been a podcast that never saw light. But I remember having a conversation with you about pushing too much or having too much with these goals.
Yeah.
I have a vague memory of it. I don't know when this was.
Yeah, because we were talking about the burnout the first time I went to the gym.
Yeah, that's what it was. You were going to the gym and you were like really dedicated, but then you went hard.
Yeah.
And then you stopped for how long?
Oh God.
Exactly. Don't matter.
Yeah.
Don't matter, but we stopped.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
But
so yeah, no, I think that's a great thing to recognize in yourself that, like, yes, I have this goal. It's a wonderful goal, but it might not be as realistic as you think now that you're actually in it and living it.
There's circumstances that you just can't control.
Yep. During an average week, how many times would you say you get 10,000 steps?
Right now, I probably get 10,000 steps 4 times a week.
Okay, that's still really good.
It's not the worst, because I still try to make it a habit of like today. I finished my work at 4. I immediately went outside. It's such a beautiful day. There's no excuse for me not to go out. And it took everything in me after a full day at home working, just doing research. I'm researching potatoes. So you know that's a long, long day.
That was the most PEI thing you could ever say in your life.
Yeah. Tomorrow's, well, not tomorrow for you guys, but tomorrow for us, it's International Potato Day. And it's the first year that we're actually like celebrating it.
That's right. I heard that on the radio.
Yep. So I'm making the post for that. And I spent all day just making sure that like I'm not missing any information. I tried to find silly pictures of potatoes. I tried to come up with little puns for potatoes for our Twitter/X account. And it was just like a long day of looking at just funs. So I as soon as that clock turned 4, I clocked myself out and I went out the door. Yeah. And I went for my walk for an hour. So it's 30 minutes down, 30 minutes back. That's 10,000 steps for me.
Beautiful.
That's done. So I try to do that 4 times a week. So then like with sharing my writing, I have shared a little bit with the Writers Guild here on PEI, which is kind of marketing myself.
Oh, definitely. Like you're putting your name out there and you were doing some of those activities together, like where you came up with the writing. What was it? It was like Spare the Moment where you're given the topic and then you had to write about it or something. What was that called?
Oh God. I think it was just like it was just a monthly theme.
Okay.
I think that was just all it was. But yeah, so I did that, and then the month of May, unfortunately, the Writers Guild, we couldn't have as many meetings as we'd like, so that didn't really turn out as planned, but I still focused a lot on my writing, and I said that I wanted to like rebuild my writing, so I started doing a little bit more on that, so that was good. Still haven't talked to the Heritage Newfoundland Committee, mainly because I want to speak with them in person. Okay. Because I sent them an email and they sent me something back, but like I don't think they really understood what I was getting at. Okay. I think they were like I think they thought that I was expecting them to pay for my publishing. And that's not the case. I just want like the heritage of Newfoundland to recognize that I am a Newfoundland author. And that's it. Yeah. I just want like that just a stamp, even just like a little stamp on my book saying that the Newfoundland Heritage Committee supports and recognizes that I'm a Newfoundland author. Yeah. That's it. So I think I'm gonna need to talk to them. No, that's fair. To break up the miscommunication. And then to prepare for the journalism communications program, I think I did pretty well. Yeah.
Prepared and succeeded?
Yeah. Then we go into the September to December goal. So this is when we started up again and we were talking about what we were expecting for ourselves. I had eat healthier, go to the gym 3 times a week, and drink more water. So the goal update for that is I'm definitely eating a lot healthier. Suffice to say, I'm eating more proteins. So before I was a very strong advocate of pescatarianism. And then I was diagnosed with ADHD. And with that, it was a really big deal for me because it was something that I've been trying to get recognized for about 2 years, and kind of hard to admit, and even harder to have to take medications for, because I'm always the type of person that if you can take care of it yourself, you can handle it all on your own, go for it.
Oh, yeah.
Don't rely on medication to be the end all be all. But if you need it to push you through, then there's no other choice.
Yeah.
So I found out it's a chemical imbalance.
Yeah.
Something,
And understanding that it is a chemical imbalance, like your brain is not producing whatever the chemical is to make it successful. And this is just a way to kind of rebalance it. And like I know many people who get on the medication, take it for a little bit, get reset, learn these coping skills, learn how to work with their ADHD, and then they might not take it. But they needed that time where their brain wasn't talking to them all the time so that they could be successful, because they were just so overwhelmed without the feelings, the drastic imbalance, and not knowing the coping skills to handle how their brain worked. They needed to take a time to get on the medication, rebalance, refigure out, understand the diagnosis, understand what it is for you, because it's very different in people, but especially in females. And so it's not the traditional just hyperactivity, it's more mind hyperactivity.
It's a lot. Yeah.
And so it's good to take, like, I know you were very much not wanting to do that, but it's like it does help you in the long run to reset, and maybe in the future you won't need it. But at this present time, where it's been undiagnosed, you've gone through a lot, and now you're realizing like how much it affected your life, which you might not have realized because of the imbalance. That was your norm.
Yeah, so it's definitely a factor, and it's interesting to see. And the way that I describe it to everyone, it almost feels like I'm on stage and there is this bright light that's shining down on me, and I'm hearing everybody talking, but I can't see their faces. So it's just like all you hear is like, you guys know, and you've experienced it in your lifetime. When you're in a crowded room, all you hear is buzz.
Yeah.
It's just a constant buzz. And there's music playing because there's a band behind me, but I'm in the front. I'm trying to sing. I don't know any of my lines. And I'm just hearing everybody talk, and I'm hearing the music in the background, and all that buzz is coming around. It's just overwhelming. It gets too much. And then, of course, you can't focus when you're doing that. So after a while, it was like a norm for me to experience that on a daily basis. And I just chalked it up to me being crazy. And then I have a crazy life in childhood. So I was just like, yeah, that's just byproduct of it. But at the end of the day, the medication has been improving that little by little. Yeah. So the eating healthier has definitely been improved a little bit more, just because I do want to make sure that I'm taking care of my body. I was taking care of my body before, but now I'm making sure that I have enough protein. I'm making sure that I have enough B12. I'm making sure that I'm taking my multivitamins in the morning, so that way I give my brain the nutrients it needs to actually be able to process things.
Yeah.
So it was an interesting experience. But yeah, that's where we are today. And then the go to the gym 3 times a week I have written down. I don't go to the gym no more. The gym got closed down because of the construction, and it really dropped my motivation. And I just kind of realized, I enjoyed doing at-home workouts with the things that I have at home, and just doing action exercises, or active exercises, I think is what they're called. So it's more like military training. You're doing things that's going to like boost your stamina, just keep pushing you forward. So like when I go running, I'm not so out of breath. When I go hiking, I can like go the distance. So I've been doing a lot of that more, and I'm finding that I'm enjoying that better.
Okay.
So as much as I do want to have the Wonder Woman triangle body shape, I kind of just don't think that I'm going to be reaching that anytime soon.
Well, it's also what, like, for me, like, we're very different in that. Like, the thought of doing that stuff, I want to vomit. And we'll get into my goals and how I'm not doing some of the goals I said I was going to do. And because I enjoy weightlifting, like that's what gets me excited to go to the gym and makes me want to go and push myself in that aspect. With lifting weights, where you want to push yourself in a different,
how far I can go.
You want to push in like cardio, vascular, distance. Those are what you're looking for, and what brings you the joy. Because with anything with working out and fitness, you need to find what makes you happy, what makes you want to go to the gym and get excited. Like for me, strongman, and do like, no, I remember multiple times when I didn't want to go to the gym, or because it was just like it was early in the morning or something like that, and I would be like, if it was a strongman competition, I would go. Yeah. And so that's how I talked myself into doing it. And it's like, or even doing the activities that I'm not really enjoying, like the more cardio things, which I know I need to work on. And I'm like, I'm doing this for strongman.
Yeah.
So I have a twist for it to make it so I can do it and it's an enjoyable thing. And being like, I'm doing the track because I know working on my cardiovascular will help me with the stupid sandbag medleys that are the bane of my existing, those moving events, which are the killers in losing points.
Yeah.
So that's making me less of more of a static strength than overall strongman.
Yeah.
So like it's kind of looking at it that way as to what fits
what fits your lifestyle.
It's lifestyle and your joy.
Yeah.
It's all about finding joy in working out and exercising. And it's like, say, I saw a meme or a couple things about the gym is an adult playground.
Yeah.
So if you find what your playground is, yours might be the track, mine's with the barbell.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, is like, I know personally, as much as I love lifting weights, I dreaded going into that corner.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like you see all those TikToks, all those Instagram posts where it's just like, you know, you're being a muscle mommy and then it's just you like carrying the littlest little weights. And I'm just like, I feel like that person. And I feel like everyone's watching me because of that. And that's a big fear. We talked about that in the beginning about the gym. And then just having the crowds around.
Oh, the crowds, the size, the busyness of the gym.
For the most part, it's mostly males that are dominating that corner. And as a woman, don't matter what size you are, but as a woman, that's intimidating.
Absolutely, 100%.
There's a theory of like, would you take a bear or would you take a man? I would take a bear 100% of the
100%.
time.
100%
100% of the time.
Yeah.
You just got to watch out for yourself like that. And not to say that the gym wouldn't protect you, but there's just that one time.
And not to say like I have met some of the biggest men are the giantest teddy bears. So we're not saying that it's all men, but there's it's happened.
Yeah, there's
so. Unfortunately, like say there, like I still get that. Even like I went to the gym last night and I was the first one there, and there was these two guys. They were doing their workout on one side, and they came over just to like introduce themselves, which I really appreciated because they're trainers at the gym, which was really nice. But like when they were first coming over, I was like, "You gonna kick me out?" And that was I was like, "Oh, am I not supposed to be here?" But they were just like coming over to say, "Hi, I'm so and so.
Yeah.
One of the trainers, never seen you here before."
And that's another ick. We can like have a whole podcast episode on this ick.
We will save that ick.
People, and I'm not saying the M word because you know there's women and there's in between that do it too. People who come over to you and tell you that you're not doing the exercise right.
Yes.
Mind your business.
Yeah.
Mind your business. We'll add that to the list of what we're going to talk about because we can have a conversation about that. But I'm going to finish off the last goal that I had for the month of September and December. You notice that I had 5 goals when we first started. Then I went to 3 because I knew that was more achievable.
Yep.
So my third goal from September to December was to drink more water. And you know what? Since being diagnosed with ADHD and taking the medication that I have, one of the side effects is dry mouth. I chug these guys.
Yeah.
Like it's going out of style.
Yeah.
Like I chug these like they're limited edition and I'm running low on my supply. Like I
can't get enough.
I'm telling you, it's crazy, but it helps. So there's definitely some pros and there's also some cons, and we can talk about that in a future podcast episode. But that's basically what happened in the last 8 months. And now for my goal updates, I'm starting to focus fully on my lifestyle, which I talked about, eating healthy, doing healthier eating habits. So making sure that I'm eating 3 times a day, because there are times where I'm so transfixed in my work, I don't realize that time's going by.
Yeah.
And a big thing with ADHD is time blindness.
Yes.
You just don't have time management skills. And I've worked really, really hard to build up a time management skill tool and technique that I use on a regular basis, and I've actually
learned. I learn everything.
Honestly, I have something that vibrates on my wrist to like really get me into it. So the fact that I still have moments where I don't realize what time it is shocking.
Even with your timers, you're like, oh
yeah, because you know yourself, like you just snooze it.
No, see, I snooze it, but like yes and no. For me, like as an example, I have a lunchtime alarm.
Yeah.
At 1 o'clock, that's when I'm supposed to go, and that gives me a full hour.
Yeah.
Because that's roughly like when I need to eat my lunch between 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Most times, and so I have that on, and I'll snooze it, but I don't turn it off. So it keeps on reminding me I still need to take my lunch. I still take my lunch. and I have unlimited snoozes on it so that I don't forget.
Okay.
Whereas maybe you only have, maybe as an example, you have limited.
For me, it's just like you swipe it
Oh,
and then
it's gone.
It's gone. It's like, okay, so right now, like you said, I have to take my lunch between 1 and 2 o'clock. So 1 o'clock, the thing starts buzzing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I'll just snooze this until 1:30, and I'll make sure that I'm keeping an eye on the clock, and I have another thing on my phone that says 1:30 because I know that I'm not going to be keeping an eye on the clock.
Yeah.
I can say that all day to my face.
Oh, when you first said, I'm like, you ain't doing.
No, I'm not doing it. I ain't doing it because once I'm in the zone,
yeah,
I can't get out.
Yeah.
Like you have to pull me away from my work.
Yeah. And that's the same thing. That's why I have the alarm. So it's like, it pulls me up like, oh, I need to wrap this up.
Yeah.
And so there's been times where I'll snooze it 3 or 4 times. Like if someone's here, or we're working on something, or like, I'm like, oh, I just need to do this one last thing, or I need to send this email, and I'll snooze it. And there'll be times where I've snoozed it, but I'm actually on my break.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh, look at me. I'm like, I'm good. I did it.
I'm in the clear.
I went on my break when I was supposed to.
So yeah, so there's definitely that factor. So I'm trying to make sure that I am like keeping consistent with my eating. I'm not overeating. I'm not undereating. I'm just like at that good level.
Nice. Yeah.
And then of course, like my exercise, my sleep, and my protein intake has increased. Just because I need to make sure that I'm giving my brain the nutrients that it needs. And then with regards to my exercise type, I mentioned that I wasn't going to the gym anymore. So I do running, jogging, and it's just overall lighter workouts, I guess, compared to like going to the gym.
Lighter's not the right term, just a different style.
Just a different style.
Because I don't, lighter means it's downplaying it, and I don't think what you're still working out, you're still getting your exercise in. I don't want to downplay that by calling it lighter, just different.
I appreciate that. Okay, yeah. So it's just a different, it's kind of the same as what I used to do in the past. I used to go running all the time. I just find that works for me.
Yeah.
And you know, there's just gonna be moments where you try to get yourself out of your comfort zone, which I highly recommend anyone try. But if it's not working for you and you're just dreading to go,
switch it up. Find something that makes you, like, say, the joy, the fun of it.
Yeah. So that was my recap for my goals.
And I'm gonna have a quick water break. Cheers.
Cheers. Water. Sure.
Back. All right, so we're gonna go over my goals that I've been handling since. So my preseason goals, when we first started talking about the podcast, was to go to the gym twice a week, strongman once a week, meal prep, water, and journaling. And this is the time when I was journaling. Mm-hmm. I was really adamant. The gym, the meal prep, those were all really great things. So then come fast forward to September, because we take a break in January or during May, June, and that. I don't know what we need to call that. The preseason, is that what we're calling it?
We're calling it preseason.
Preseason, when we were trying to figure out what to do with our life and how we're going to do this podcast.
Yeah.
So then when we came back in September, my September to December goals were to go back to the gym. And so during that time, that's when I tried a couple different gyms. I had left the Good Life, which I had been at for many years, and I really enjoyed. Just for financial reasons, I had to leave, and then I was looking for the next gym. So I did try a local gym here, which was wonderful, but it wasn't my field. Like, I didn't feel comfortable there. It just, I don't know what it was. I'm willing to give it another shot, but right now I'm in a very happy place. So I'm like, I'm pausing on that.
Just wasn't the right time.
It wasn't right. Yeah. So then started back strongman training. So with the strongman training, this was something like, it was kind of out of my control. Like whenever they had the Friday nights or Thursday nights, whatever it is, I do always sign up for it. But you know, the guys take a break. Like it's not something that's a consistent every Friday, but they do take breaks, and sometimes 6 weeks. I know one of the owners, he had a baby, so he was busy. He was so cute. So we always when I was really good for going back to strongman training, because that's something that I enjoy. Like I said about. Exactly. This is something I had said earlier. This is something that brings me joy. Mm-hmm. Progress photos, I didn't do.
I was wondering about that, because when I was looking back through our goals, I was just like, oh, I haven't heard you talk about that at all.
No, I did take some in, like, actually during this period of time, I did.
Yeah.
But this was a goal that I continued into the new year, which we'll get to in a few minutes. We'll talk about that. Well, that was a loss.
Yeah.
But we'll get into that in a little bit more detail. But yeah, that wasn't. Eating better was definitely something that was going in the right direction. I'm still in that phase where something's off and I need to figure it out. Mm-hmm. So then in January, we had updated goals. And so with my goals, and this is something that I don't remember if we talked about, if you guys heard us talking about, or this in the preseason, but I'm wondering about my goals, because my goals are always the same. Mm-hmm. Workout, drink water, journal. And so it's that stagnation that the cards are talking to me about.
Yeah.
About maybe I need to creatively think of like, okay, these are my goals, but these have been my goals for 4 years, which is not a bad thing. These are all great goals to have, but I'm not excited to do my goals. I feel like I'm almost plateaued with them.
Do you feel like you're almost like you need to go above it in a
I'm
way?
maybe I'm not sure what it is yet, to be honest. That's something that I need to figure out.
Yeah.
So
Just in case you guys are wondering where these goals are located, Allie's talking about the goals that we had set up for our very first episode of season 1. So if you haven't checked that before you're new to our channel, please head on over and take a look at that because, you know, another hour of us talking.
you never have enough of that.
Yeah, I think maybe because you've had the same consistent goals for 4 years, I think maybe just challenging yourself, like going a little bit above that, maybe it'll just take you out of that little funk.
Maybe that's what I think so. So yeah, so with one of the things that I've kind of added into my goals recently for 2024 is to start reading more. So I finished my first book last year, which was probably the first book I've read in 10 years. Not gonna lie, just for like pure enjoyment. Because I would start a few books, but I never finished them.
That's hard after finishing college and university. You just don't want to read now for pleasure.
Exactly. So I really took a step back from my reading aspect and in my life. So that's one of the goals I've added in, which is the reading. And so I've now finished 6 books. And it's almost the middle of the year, so I'm very proud of myself.
That's great.
Yeah.
Because you wanted like 12 books for the year, right? Yeah, 1 book a month.
Yep. And so right now we're going into June, so it's like perfect.
You're keeping up with it.
And I'm like deep into the series I'm in now. I'm loving it. So that won't be long before that one's finished. And so another goal that I had mentioned was about walking more. So that's me doing something I dislike. But it's something that I feel like I need to do to improve my strongman. And so that's what I keep on telling myself, but that hasn't stuck yet. And it's same with the progress photos. So one of the reasons I don't think the progress photos have been going is because I've gotten a little bit more insecure with how I look and with how much weight I have put on since leaving my trainer, since like with not having the right gym. And I think that's kind of putting it into perspective as to why I'm not taking photos. I now dread having my photo taken, which even when I did the progress photos, I'm not happy. I am taking them to take them. And like I don't have a smile. It's the act of taking the photo.
Yeah.
And even that's always been since I started taking progress photos. You can like my face is stone. Like it's not something.
It's not for you in the moment. It's for you in the future.
It's for me in the future. 100%. It's like in the moment, I don't want to take these.
No.
And I think that's part of the reason. And I'm almost kind of like put myself in denial about like where I'm at. And it's when I see the photos when I'm like, oh, she slipped back. So it's like getting into those bad habits. And so that's one of the ones I'm bringing back. Because I do think taking the photos and comparing, it helps me see because I don't like weighing myself. And maybe that is something I need to get back into. You know, really just try and remove the triggering aspect of the scale.
Yeah.
Into it's just a number. Don't put too much weight into your number.
That could be your challenge.
That's a scary challenge. We'll have to think about that.
But you need to step out of your comfort zone to really know what you are looking for.
100%.
So I recently had to write this down because I think it's a really, really great quote. It was attributed to Albert Einstein, but it was actually Rita Brown that wrote it. By repeating the same situation, same behavior, that is literally the definition of insanity. So by consistently doing the same thing, expecting different results and not getting it, you're just going to hurt yourself more. And then that self-reflection moment where you're, like you said, taking the picture or going out for the walk, so dreading it because you're just seeing that nothing is changing. Yeah. And it's all about discipline. Yeah. And I really hate that word because I am not a disciplined person. I don't consider myself a disciplined person.
I wouldn't say I am either.
No, but there's got to be wiggle room, of course. But same thing with you going to the gym. You went to the gym because you wanted to go to the gym to get stronger, to see Blair, to go and experience that strong magnetic
Yeah, it was fun. I look forward to it.
Yeah, you just need to find those things within whatever it is you really hate doing. And it's just positive thinking.
Yes.
You really have to rewire your brain on that. And honestly, Allie, it took me months to get that down. And even now, I still have moments where I'm just like beating myself up. And I have to stop and look at myself and say, would I say that to a child? Would I look at my child or my child self? And then I think this could be a really good thing if you are interested in it, because I had to do it when I was in a low point myself. I gained like 30 pounds over the summer and I hated it. None of my pants fit me. Going jean shopping was a dread. And I never experienced that in my life. I was always stick thin. And now it's the first time I got curves. And I was like, dude, not it. I put a childhood photo, a little picture of me and my brother in the corner of my mirror. And if I ever said something mean about myself, I'd look back at that child and I would just imagine myself screaming at the child the same thing that I just said to myself. I break down crying every single time.
Yeah.
It hurts.
Yeah.
But you are hurting your inner child by saying those things too.
You definitely are.
It's just like sometimes you got to give yourself a little bit of a bruise to realize that the pain and discomfort is there to help you heal.
Exactly. 100%. And I do better with tough love.
Yeah.
Like I'm not a coddling person. I will give the coddling that based on what I know, but I am more of a tough love girl.
Yeah.
Like you want I'm like my roommate, as an example. She has been fantastic. She's been really motivating. We go to the gym together and she's like, where's your walks? Because I told her, I'm like, you can call me out on this. And I don't agree with people calling out people about going out to the gym unless they ask for it.
Yeah.
So like I have one of her coworkers. She's like, you can call me out of the gym. So I called her out just the other day. I'm like, when was the last time you were at the gym? She's like, I don't want to talk about it. I'm like, you told me to call you out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but I don't agree with calling you out unless that's something that you want.
Yeah.
Because it can be demoralizing.
Sometimes it becomes a sensitive topic.
It can, 100%. Like that's I and like every time Allison does, I thank her and I appreciate it because I'm like as an example
for you.
100%. I know, and this is what I want, and this is what I need.
Yeah.
I need people calling me out of my shit because like I just look so bad.
Need a reality check.
Yeah, as an example, it was Sunday going into Monday. She's like, going for your walk tomorrow? I was like, yeah, no, yeah. She's like, no, you're going. I was like, okay. And then woke up. I was just tired, didn't feel it.
Yeah.
And then she messaged me from the other side of the house. It was 8:30. She's like, why are you still here?
Go for your walk.
Go for your walk. And at that point, I had to at that point it was a little too late. So I was like, I decided I was like, I'm gonna go on my break, or I'll go on my lunch break. She's like, okay. And then I was already planning on sending her a picture. And then she's messaged like, I want a picture of you walking on your lunch break. I was like, oh, don't you worry, I did.
Go.
And so I when I just went for a little, it was only 15-minute walk.
And it still did it.
Yeah, exactly. I went for my 15-minute walk and then I sent a picture and I like had a little relax and finished up my lunch break because like I have a half an hour lunch. I didn't want to spend 20 minutes of it walking.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I spent half of it. So like I appreciate that and like I like that. I don't know where I was going with this.
The accountability aspect of it.
Yeah, it's the accountability aspect.
You know, if you want it, I don't know how much to push. You know what I mean? I'm that coddler.
Yeah, you really are.
I am a very sensitive person, so I always empathize and I over empathize because I'm just like, if I say this, is this going to break you? If I say this and call you out on it, are you going to be upset with me? And then there's the people pleaser in me, you know, that really keeps it on check. But if you wanted me to, because this is when I started doing it myself, if I don't do it today, you're sure as hell doing it tomorrow. Rain or shine, you're going out. So it's like almost forcing yourself. It's like, damn, it's a beautiful day. Tomorrow might be raining. Just gotta go.
Yeah.
Because I knew the rocks weren't going to work. And then the rock actually got stolen from you. So Allie made it a mission to like put a rock down for each time she would walk. So that way she could see the distance. So it's just like little things, but you don't have time to really like paint or wrap because you're just, when you're working, you're cooking, and then you're reading. That takes a bit of time too. And then you got to take care of yourself. So you got to be like making sure that you're eating healthy and that you're taking your showers, that you got everything prepped for the next day. It's a lot. Being an adult sucks.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, if you really want something to move forward, you got to be willing to be the one to push it.
Exactly.
And I mean, it's okay to have your friends and your family to be there to just like call you out on your shit, to really make those cogs turn, be like, do I really want them to talk to me about that? Again, same thing with my uncle.
Yeah.
He'll send me the Fitbit snaps. And you're like, oh, I already stuff to do again. It's a challenge then.
Yeah.
Because you're fighting with other people. And we were talking about this before about you having gym buddies.
Mm-hmm.
You work better in groups.
I do.
Now, you are a very independent woman.
Mm-hmm.
You like doing things on your own with regards to like self-reflection and emotional aspect of it. But you also need those friends to help keep encouraging you to push you through.
Exactly.
I think everybody needs a little.
Oh yeah, 100%. And it's just it's enjoyable for me. It's the social aspect of it. Yeah. It's both like even if we're doing different things, it's that okay, we're working on this, you're working on that. Let's chat about it. Like okay, kind of just messing around at your own, but it's having that like it's
that's
like
support buddy.
It's body doubling is what it's called.
Yes.
Is what I'm very pro body doubling. Like you don't need to do it with me, you just need to be there with me.
Yeah, just be a ghost in the room.
Yeah.
I know that you're there, but I can't see you, I'm not with you.
Yeah.
But you know, you're talking about that now, and it just got me in the mind of like sometimes I really like chatting with you, and I like chatting with your roommate, I like chatting with our friend group, because there's times where they'll do something and I'm like, never thought about it doing it that way. And then it's just like you're pushing yourself out of your comfort zone then too, because instead of doing everything monotonously of like, I know that this is what I like and I'm going to stick to it, it gets boring, you get unmotivated. But having another person around being like, oh, you know, I was doing sandbag toss, but now I'm going to do logs. I'm going to try to like get my PR. You're getting excited for them. You're like, oh yeah, you know, I'll watch. I'll be your spotter. I'll get it. And then you'll watch them and you're like, you know what? I want to try that now too. And it's not something that you had set up for yourself, but it's something that you did.
Yep.
And you feel proud about it at the end of it.
100%.
You're like, I tried something different.
Exactly. Yeah. No, totally agree with that. Totally agree with that.
So now what your goals now? Because we said that the journaling isn't going very well.
It hasn't happened. The journal, I'm going to be real with you, the journaling has not happened.
No.
Not
even the video journals?
No. I never got into that. It's not something we talked about, but I never tried it.
Yeah.
No, it's no journaling aspect has happened. I know one thing that's like a lot of the people, they have a journal they take to the gym to record stuff in it. And you gave me a beautiful book for Christmas.
I did, but I also don't use my journals. So I get you.
Yeah,
they're pretty.
It's in my gym bag.
They're just nice to look at.
It's gorgeous. But
and sometimes it just gives you prompts.
Yeah. So like and they're doing it to record their workouts. Mm-hmm. And so I have been keeping track of my workouts on my phone.
Yeah.
So maybe and just kind of keeping and maybe moving that to the book.
Yeah.
So my goal moving forward in this step is like I want to still keep with my base goals because those like going to the gym, working in my water. I do need to work on something better with my plan. So I know before my trainer had given me a meal plan. Mm-hmm. I never really stuck to it. So maybe that's something that I can really because it's a challenge to stick to. Mm-hmm. Like it's a lot of food and quite honestly, it seems like too much food.
Yeah.
And it's just like I have a lot of food issues. And so to me, it's just like I don't know if I can eat all this.
Yeah.
And I know I undereat, and then I'll binge. Like that's an issue we have. I have. It's life. That's facts. And so I'm nervous to go and have this much food, even though I know I need this much food for how much I am working out. Yeah. Like I'm now doing 3 strongman training sessions a week, mm-hmm. and I'm doing 2 workouts with Allison.
Yeah.
And these are hard workouts. Like I'm now I'm following her trainer's workouts, and like I was dying, but I felt really good after I was dying. And that's what I like. I like the pushing. I like having someone else to help push me because if I'm working out by myself, I don't find I push myself to improve that. And that is something that I've always struggled with and I haven't figured out. And I know it's an aspect that is impeding the way I am working out and what I'm doing and all these things.
It's affecting your lifestyle.
It is affecting.
You don't have as much energy as you could.
I was like dead tired last night when I came home because like I did a short workout in the morning. I did eat, so it's not like I didn't eat. Like I had my lunch that I normally did. I didn't really have a dinner. I had it later, but I was exhausted. And I know it's because I didn't eat enough.
Yeah.
And I didn't have enough protein. I didn't eat the right things to fuel meal to do that. And one thing I need to do is change my mindset from food is enjoyable to that food is fuel.
Yeah.
And it's fueling me to do the other things. And that's the mindset aspect that I need to correct. And I don't know how to do that yet.
Okay.
We have thought. So we'll save that for a more deeper conversation. So right now, going into my mid-year check-in point, the goals that I'm going to be working on and adjusting is still continue to go to the gym and do my strongman training because those are things that I enjoy. My water's gotten a lot better since I had my water bottle.
The non-leaking water bottle.
Non-leaking water bottle.
Have you put a stitch on it yet?
No, I've been really enjoying it without stickers.
Yeah.
So for my goals, yes, is to work on continue going to the gym. I'm going to start doing the progress photos because I do think that's important. And then working on being more strict with my diet. And I do think maybe like even posting more about it and like having that aspect as an accountability situation.
Yeah, you don't feel so alone when you do it. Like, you know what? I even said it because I did a monthly update. So I was doing audio journals and recording myself similar to what we're doing now to like talk about what I've noticed. And I said it today. You feel like shit when you admit it because admitting it is the hardest part. Saying that and I'm going to say it like this because it feels like you fail yourself by having to admit that you have a problem. That you didn't do something that you said you were going to do.
Yeah.
But after you do it, after you admit that, it's almost like this weight off your shoulders. You're just like, you know what? It wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
It hurts in the moment, but you know what? It heals you in the end. And my grandfather used to have a saying, I'll say this to you now. Good habits are just as hard to break as bad habits.
Yep.
And he taught me that when I was learning how to drive, and it stuck with me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's like the healing quote of the day.
Thanks, Grandpa.
More. Thank you, Grandpa wins.
Awesome. All righty. So let's have another little quick water break. Charles. And then we're going to go into the podcast goals. They're a little shorter, a little more brief. All right, so we have some goals for our podcast. Making sure I got them right here.
Yeah, we do.
Yes.
We got some exciting things for you guys and also to keep us in check.
Yeah, like we had debated on not putting it in, but I think it's important, once again, putting it out in the world. Manifestation.
Hold us accountable.
Hold us accountable. So our number one goal is to get audio form. Like say we're busy and it's just one of those things that we haven't gotten around to. And I know it's going to be so much. And that's a lot of people consume podcasts through audio.
Yeah.
And ours is on YouTube and it's more of a visual. And so it's
so hard to reach out to the audience that we need to because a lot of the time people are just listening. They're not watching. They're not sitting down. They don't have time to sit down. You guys are just as busy as we are. So it's really important for us to like get on, get our voices out there.
Yes, 100%. And that way we can build our audience. We want to be able to build a community to really to be there to support each other so that we can help talk to other people who are in similar situations and hear your stories so that we're not feeling as alone. It's just me and you talking to each other, which I love. But, it's nice to have other people who are going through it together,
I'm seeing the numbers slowly rise, but I'm seeing a lot more people just watching instead of interacting. Yeah. So I think with regards to the audience, as much as I like to build up our audience, get those numbers in the 3 digits, that would be really interesting. But not just to get the amount of people to come in, but I also think it'd be important to get the amount of people to interact.
Engagement.
Get their voices out there. I want to hear your story. I want to hear the struggles that you went through if you're comfortable with talking about it. Because then maybe we're helping you in some way, or you help us, I find a lot of the time other people inspire me. So by all means, comment, subscribe, follow for all the fun stuff. And if there's anything that you would like to talk about or anything that you would like us to discuss as part of the topic, it is like talking about our weight and our diets. It's difficult. But you know what? It's important to talk about because we're not the only ones who struggle with it.
Absolutely.
And I think it's important of a discussion to have, especially as women. Strong girls.
Absolutely. And then our last goal is talking about getting sponsorships, promotion, working on our thumbnail, our image, all those good things.
So with podcasts, for the most part, if you guys do partake in podcasting, which I hope you do if you're listening to this one, with audio ones and sometimes video ones as well, a lot of time people will promote you through advertisements. So for example, like McDonald's or I just recently watched a podcast today, Jeepers. It's like linen, like bed sheets. You get good sleep, like it's just like little or big companies that are helping you grow more. And I think that that's really important, especially for a video or audio podcast, because it makes you feel like somebody cares and something's counting. It's not about, this isn't about the money, guys. This is about feeling more like a podcast, feeling more genuine, real, and
like we're really doing it instead of just like. And that's kind of why I want to build the audience, because like right now, like I love doing this. Like I enjoy doing it. I enjoy doing the editing, and I'm excited to put out the podcast. But I just feel like it's
we're hearing crickets.
Yeah, I just feel like I'm talking to just you.
I feel like we're doing a stand-up show, and there's like maybe 3 drunk boys at the table.
Yeah, I just feel like we have such a good message and a good thing behind it. It's just not going anywhere yet. And so, and I fully admit that most of that is my fault for not getting us on the audio.
And we're a team.
But that was my task.
We're a team.
My thanks.
We're a team. I'm going to shout it from the rooftops. Listen, if we want to talk about it, I never mentioned it. It just takes a little bit of extra time and it takes a little bit of patience. We'll get there. It just, it hasn't happened yet, but that doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. Yeah. And she didn't give up. That's the main thing. We can't give up. We can't give up on our audience now. We have like a few followers, and I am so blessed and honored to be able to do this with you, to get your voice out, to get my voice out, to be able to talk to these people, these beautiful, strong girlies. And just to be able to do this and say that we've done it, because honestly, it gave me the job that I have now. Yeah. This podcast gave me my dream job.
It did.
So, I mean, like, there's so many special little things that we don't know is going to happen yet. It's coming in the future. And that's exactly what this tarot card was saying. Take a vacation. Right now, you're stressing about all the work that needs to be done. But let me tell you, honey, once it's done, you are going to reap the reward. It is going to just
plant the seed, wait for the harvest.
Yes, we are sowing our crops.
Yeah.
Sowing, seeding.
No, I ain't a farmer.
Well, I did so much research on potatoes. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Oh yes, no. So we're very excited for the future of this podcast. She ain't going anywhere. She's just gonna go improving, and we're making sure we're giving it the good old college try.
That's right.
And college try means so you get degrees some days.
Yeah.
And you know what? It might take us a little longer. Take 5 years. Take 10 years. But we're gonna get that degree.
That's right. We'll be doing it together.
Exactly. Awesome.
All right. So we're gonna have a little bit of a water break, a little bit of a consolation, and then we are actually going to go into the second half of this podcast. I know it seems like it's been drawing on, but I promise you guys, this is the fun part. We talked about the dirty bits. We talked about the hard things, but now we're reaping the rewards for this too, because we are going to play some games.
Let's see what we got.
Alrighty.
We back and we're ready for games.
Are you guys ready?
All right. So I want you guys to play along at home. So the first game we're going to play, it's called 20 words.
Oh, we're playing 20 words first?
Yeah, playing 20 words first.
Okay.
So we have, I have 9 words written down, and I have to get Megan to guess what I have. And she only has 20 words to get all 9 of my words. Okay. So you ready? So I'm going to keep a tally here so I can keep track. So the first word.
I'm not ready yet.
Okay.
This is a team building exercise, folks, just in case you're watching at home. But we're also very competitive people. So I need to know, is my goal to go over 20 words? Is my goal to get you to guess them in under 20 words?
So the goal is to give it's a team building, right?
Yeah.
So together we need to get under 20 words.
Okay.
We do not want to go over 20 words. If we go over 20, we lose.
Okay.
So between us, we got to have that telepathy
Okay.
to be like, I'm
I'm not gonna think about it. You know
Yeah.
what? I'm not writing notes. I'm not.
see.
gonna think about it.
I'm actually really good at like what's that catchphrase?
Oh yeah.
I'm good at those one words and like I'll stare down. I get it. I'm good at these games.
Okay.
So together, I think we're gonna be good.
All right. I'm
Okay.
just not gonna think about it too
Yep.
much because if I overthink, then I'm just gonna cause problems.
Okay. So we ready?
I guess so.
Okay. My first word. Lemon.
Lemonade.
No, I can't use the same like.
Oh,
I can't
oh.
use the word within it.
Sorry.
But that's okay. But lemon's my first word. It's fast. But when I
Pie.
color.
Yellow.
There you go. Got it. Ball.
You said that it can't be in the word. Circle.
Kick.
Oh, soccer. Or football.
No, soccer.
Football if you're from Australia or the UK.
All right. Water.
Ocean.
Yep.
Yeah, I got it. We're getting into it now. Brains activating.
Clothes.
Fashion.
Warmth.
Sweater.
Outside.
Jacket. Okay. That one was wrong.
Helmet.
Bicycle.
There you go.
Oh, I got every word
It was done.
memorized. It was over. Yeah.
Okay, so we are at 10 words right now.
Oh man, are we halfway?
Yep.
Okay.
This is
thank
number
God.
6, actually.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Okay,
That's
so
good timing. Okay.
so wet.
Pool.
Bottle.
Oh, water.
All right.
See, I wasn't guessing water because you said water for ocean. So I was like, no, she can't do that. Okay, yeah.
Makeup.
Ooh. Looks like
Okay.
my seagull cry. I'm glad there's nobody in the building right now.
Yep.
I think I'm getting murdered.
Weightlifting.
Strongman.
Place.
Competition.
Oh,
gym.
I gotta give you another word.
Oh, shit.
Space.
Gym.
Yeah.
Fuck me.
Okay.
As soon as I said that, I was like, that's such a dumb fucking answer.
So we're at 16 words.
Oh.
So you have one more word.
Oh my God.
See if you can do it.
Okay.
Animal.
Ooh, cat.
Flight.
Bird.
So we did it in 18.
Oh my God.
Ooh, I almost gave you my code.
Damn it.
That's the next game.
Well, cheat.
All right.
Oh, now we're playing Crack the Code.
Yeah.
So essentially, the game description on that is you have a 4-digit code, kind of like a PIN number, and it's from 0 to 9. From 0 to 9, and the opponent has to guess your code in order to crack it. You tell them whether or not they got a certain number in the right place or not. And then they have to try to determine it from there. All right. So without further ado, I guess we'll just crack into it. I'm going to be so bad at this one. It was a little rough for you on the first game. This one's going to be my kryptonite. I'm telling you.
So do you want me to go first, or how do you want to do this one?
Yeah. You go first. You guess first. We'll just go back and forth. Just make sure to like write it down.
Yes. All right. So my first number is 22222.
You have 0 numbers in every place.
Okay.
I'm going to guess 0, 1, 2, 3.
You have 1 in the right place. Ooh. I'm going to guess 1, 2, 3, 4.
I am going.
No, you have to tell me if there's any right spot.
Yeah, sorry.
Leave me hanging.
You said 1, 2, 3, 4?
Yeah.
You have 0 numbers in the right place.
Okay.
I tried to make this one hard too. Okay. 0, 0, 0, 0.
None in the right place. I'm going to say 13, 13.
You have 1 in the right place.
Okay.
1, 1, 1, 1.
None in the right place.
Okay.
3, 3, 3, 3, 3.
None in the right place. 2, 2, 2, 2. I'm just cracking it like this. This is how I would crack a
What was it? Sorry.
2, 2, 2, 2.
0 or wait.
2, 2, 2, 2.
You have 2 in the right spot. That's why I was tripping up because there's so many 2s. You have 2 in the right spot. 1, 0, 0, 0.
You have none in the right place. Let's go 3, 2, 2, 0.
You have 1 in the right place.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to say 5, 2, 1, 3. Wait, I've heard that. 5, 2, 1, 3.
You have 1 number in the right place.
Okay.
I'm gonna say 2, 5, 2, 9.
You have 3 in the right spot.
Woo, buddy!
Okay. I'm going to say 5, 5, 1, 9.
You have 3 in the right spot.
Ooh. Okay.
I know we're getting into it now. It's getting close. All right, 2, 5, 2, 8.
2, 5, 2, 8.
Yeah.
You have 3 in the right spot.
Okay, so we know where 5 is. Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to say.
Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Nope. Erase that. Those K's are not supposed to be in the same place. My bad.
I'm going to say 4, 5, 1, 9.
You have 3 in the right spot.
Okay.
It's down to the fucking mark now.
Yep.
2, 5, 2, 4.
2, 5, 2, 4. 3.
Oh, now it's just a matter of counting down, babe.
Yeah, that's literally what I'm doing. So 6, 5, 1, 9.
3 in the right spot.
Hey.
2, 5, 2, 7.
Okay, my next guess.
Woo!
9, 5, 1, 9.
No.
Oh.
0.
0. Good job.
I knew as soon as you were counting up, I was like, oh, she's gone past it.
Nice. Awesome. Oh, what a way to end. That was down to I had it figured out. I had the 3.
We were both at the 3, right? And we're like, oh.
Oh, that was fun. We'll definitely do that one again.
Oh yeah, and we have a lot more games ahead of us. So if you enjoy our content, please keep it up on our YouTube channel, Strong Girl Shuffle.
And what about other platforms?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Allie. So we also have our Instagram channel and our TikTok channel, and those are called Strong Girl Shuffles, but as SGSHUFFLE podcast at Insta and TikTok. But there's also more, isn't there?
Yes. I do have a personal account.
You do?
I do. I have a little Insta.
Wow. All right, share that Insta.
So my Instagram is Ali_strongwoman.
Ooh, and what shows on your Instagram page?
So it's about not too much right now, but there's a little bit of some strongman competitions that I'm doing some recaps on, and just kind of tracking how I'm doing in life.
That's so interesting. So I get to see your inside life and your outside life outside of the podcast.
You do. You get to know all about me. It's insane. Yourself.
Well, I'm so glad you asked, because I also have a little personal Instagram channel. I was gonna say it was private, but I actually just made it public. It is Handora_readings, where you guys get to see me just be a little bit more creative online. Started it as a social media for my schooling, but now it's just become just a platform where I can be free to be creative.
Exactly. Oh, exciting.
Yeah. So
perfect.
Thank you so much for sharing your wonderful goals with me and showing me these games, because honestly, I was sweating.
It's fun. I think we need to do a game every couple episodes, because once we got down to it, I think we need redemption for the second half of the 20 words. I think I did a fantastic job. We did great as a team.
Yeah. It was just a trial. We
were successful. No.
It was just a test, you know? Sometimes you get the first answer right, the second answer wrong. It's fun. It's how the world works, all right? But we definitely have to do a rematch for that because we have to succeed.
We're a little competitive.
And well, we did mention that earlier.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And we will be posting every other Wednesday. So keep an eye on our Instagram. And soon, Spotify, some kind of other social site to get the audio version.
Absolutely.
We'll have that as soon as we can.
Absolutely. And then once we get on our audio, you guys might actually get the first release of Allie's third competition. Thanks, Ron.
It'll be a surprise.
So stay tuned and stay strong, girlies.
All right, bye.
Bye.